20th, 2014. A roll call, please.
Roby Staples. Donna Corbin-Sabinski.
Here.
Jill Kravitz, here. Joseph Albert.
Here.
Frank Alamo. Joe Marie Nelson. Jane Smith.
Here.
Joseph Perillo. Elizabeth Davis. And Patrick McCarthy.
Okay. Fire evacuation. In case of a fire, there are two ways to exit chambers. To my left, through the council chambers doors, turn left, walk down the flight of stairs, and out of the building, or exit the rear of the chambers. In either case, once you're out of the building, walk safe distance from the building. Okay, I'd like to call Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any old business tonight, Ginny? All right. New business. Inland Wetlands, application 556. Eric Wicknowski, applicant owner, 16 Fairfield Road. Construction of a two-car garage addition with mudroom and a small bathroom on a wetlands parcel submitted 4/29/14, received 5/6/14. PPE, and PPE stands for petition period ends 14 days from the receipt, and that'll be 5/20. MAD is mandatory action date 65 days from receipt. Could I have the applicant come forward, please? Thank you.
How you doing?
How you doing? Just state your name for the record, please.
Sure. It's Eric Witowski.
Thank you. All right. Ginny, do you have any comments on this?
No, Mr. Witkowski came. The owner came in to talk to me, and he is part of a subdivision that was built prior to wetlands, and the whole area is shown on our GIS as wet. He's got a fairly level lot, and in the past, he's been approved for a deck and a few other minor things. So, excuse me. I leave it to your discretion as to what you wish to do with it. You might want to give him a brief explanation.
Sure. So my family and I, we've lived in Enfield for 8 years now. We got a growing family, got 2 girls now, 1 on the way. So we're looking for some additional space, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
There's really not another viable place to put the garage. I mean, it's really, the house was built offset on the property, so there's a perfect spot right there. Actually, our driveway goes all the way up to the back of the house already. There's likely going to be minimal disturbance of the land there. We're just going to be digging the 4-foot foundation walls around with the piers. Some soil will probably be moved off the property. Other soil will probably be just left in either used as backfill or spread across the property. And then we have no native trees that need to come down. So really that's one small tree that was planted, I think, just before I moved in the house. We'll have to transplant to another location on the property, but that's pretty much it.
All right. Anybody have any questions?
Just to orientate myself, Fairfield Road, is that off of Enfield Street?
That's off of Post Office Road, which is off of Oliver.
Okay.
We're off Oliver.
Thank you.
Fairfield is right off Oliver.
Fairfield,
Fairfield Road, yep.
Anybody else have any questions?
No, I was just trying to figure out where it was gonna be on your drawings.
On the drawing,
Yeah.
I think I marked it down as new versus old.
Old.
So the old is the existing property, the new is the existing, or excuse me, the new structure that we would construct. So we're quite a ways back from the back of the property, and there is wetland far back.
back.
It is, yeah, it's wet, but the location in which we're building is relatively dry. In fact, dry most of the year. There's really no wet spots.
And he's also well away from the drainage right away.
Yeah.
Right.
Ginny, on the parcels beside his, are the inland wetlands in the same proximity to the back? It looks like his is actually further towards the front of the lot.
His house,
Yes.
it is a little to the front of it, but the whole lot is wetlands.
What about the ones to the sides that already also have these houses already, or these structures already there?
Yes,
They're already in the wetlands themselves.
correct.
Everybody is.
Yeah, they put
Yes.
the- yeah. That was previous to the wetlands laws.
And have we had previous problems that we know of with them having issues coming to the inland wetlands?
No, I did a brief search of the area properties, and I think the key to this, and I'm fairly new at wetlands, but I think the key to this is the fact that it's level and that it doesn't flood. I've not seen any issues with flooding on that street since I've been here. And it's not, also, as Mr. Witowski said, it's not going to be a foundation. I mean, it will be a frost wall foundation, but it's not like a complete addition foundation.
Yeah, and we've had no issues with water creeping up into our property or into our basement even. Since we moved in, there's no signs of water, which is good.
Yeah, I did drive by it the other day after rain and stuff. It was,
Yeah.
the whole area looked nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jane, you have anything?
Not at this time.
No? All right. So I need a motion to approve. If there's nothing else that anyone has to say about this applicant?
I will make a motion to approve inland wetlands number 556. Eric Witowski, applicant owner at 16 Fairfield Road.
Second?
And you read all this, but all the conditions, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 It's unanimous,
Unanimous.
4-0-0.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Okay.
You're all set.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep. Okay, other business tonight, Ginny? Mike, is your mic on, Ginny?
No, thank you. No, I do have a few things to tell you, but I can tell you that later in the agenda. Not anything major, just a few updates.
All right, we have no public hearing scheduled for tonight,
Nope,
no bond releases for tonight,
nope.
and no public participation.
Does anybody want
There's nobody here.
Sign up over here, please.
Correspondence, Ginny, we have none?
Nope.
All right, commissioners' correspondence, anybody have anything they would like to talk about? No? Okay. Site visit updates.
I believe that this is left over from when all the big projects were going on and everyone used to go out and do inspections.
Yep.
I don't think that you are being assigned. So if it's okay with you, I'll temporarily take it out until we get a few big jobs that people are getting assigned to, because it's a little confusing. I thought at first it was mine, and I was thinking, oh dear. Okay, thank you.
All right. I think, Ginny, we did have a list at one time.
Yes,
If you could just either,
I've seen it. Would you like me to bring you a copy?
yeah, just have us,
Okay.
so, and
All
then
right.
the members that weren't on, or that are on now, the new members,
Okay,
if we have to add and subtract.
okay. I'll bring a clean copy to the next meeting.
Huh?
I never was put on.
You weren't ever put on, okay. We'll have to look at that then. All right. Are we still on for our workshop for June 3rd, do you know? Or is-
No, but perhaps you want to do your wetlands minutes approvals.
All right. Approval of minutes for May 6th, 2014. Need a motion for approval?
Motion to approve the minutes from Tuesday, May 6, 2014.
Everybody's read
I'll
read-
second the motion.
Okay. Everybody's read the minutes? Okay. Take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
4-0-0.
Thank you, Jane.
As for the workshop, Yesterday, a 92-unit elderly apartment complex came in, 1696 King Street. And while there's not much, is everybody familiar with where Burlington Coat Factory is?
Yep.
The property at 1696 goes in back of the house that's directly next to it and abuts that ravine. And it doesn't show on the people's plans, but there is a bit of wetlands and a bit of escarpment. So since it's such a big unit, Joe, I mentioned it to
Yeah,
you.
you said 92?
92.
92 units?
Yep. And I thought perhaps you might want to set it to a public hearing. It's totally up your call, but it's a big, and it's not going to be heard. I believe PZC, and don't hold me to this, but I believe PZC is going to hear it the second meeting in June. So that still will give you enough time to open it. And if you have any further questions, you could continue it to your next meeting.
Do you know, is any of the property in East Windsor? I know that Burlington Coat Factory is split in half.
That's a good question. Your wetlands regs say that, ask the question if you're 500 feet or more from an adjoining municipality. And I measured it as something like 370 or 80, so it is in the area. The planner, the assistant planner, Rachel Blatt, has made the wetlands agent in East Windsor aware of it. And I don't know what the outcome of that will be, but as I said, if it were 1 or 2 units, it probably would be something that wouldn't be of a big impact. But this is going to have pavement and parking and dumpsters and you'll want to look at the pitch and where it's going and is it all being kept on site? And if not, there was talk about a detention basin in the back, but that's by 91. So again, not trying to influence you, it's just the first one I've seen that's very big. And I thought that you'd probably want to set that to a public hearing.
Yeah, I would like to set that to a public hearing. I don't have an application, though, to attach it to, though.
Well, I have the application. It came in yesterday. The secretary just made the folder this afternoon. So a complete application is in if you want to set it to June 3rd. The regs again say it has to be 10, no more than 15 or less than 10, and then this for the first legal ad, and then there has to be a space in between, and then you have to have at least 3 days before the meeting, not counting the meeting. So if you do decide to have it on the 3rd, I can send it tomorrow, the legal ad, and have it in the paper for the following day.
Can we do that without the, so what would it be in the wetlands application 557 and make a motion to put that to public hearing by your application tonight?
I'm sorry, I didn't think to. The application is 557 inland wetlands.
Right.
And,
Before we do that, do we have any, do you have an agent report other than what?
only what I sent you. It shows all the applications that I reviewed and signed off on. I haven't been out on, I did drive by 2 or 3 places, but it wasn't anything that I needed to report on.
Okay.
And I will have, I'm going out in the next day or two to look at 26 D'Annunzio because they are on the brook, freshwater brook, and they want to cut down trees. And I'm a little leery of that, so I'm going to go out and look at it.
All right, so that application has, you don't have the application then tonight, correct?
For D'Annunzio?
Yes.
No, I'm not even sure there's a need, but I want to make sure, it's like if he's going to trim limbs, that's one thing. If he's going to cut down trees or take the stumps out, that's something he's got to come talk to you about, because freshwater brook does tend to flood at times. And I've learned that the more trees you cut and the more roots you take out, the more flooding you're going to have.
Well, if it's within the specified footage for any activity,
It is.
well, if it is, then.
Yeah. That's why I said
Yeah.
if it's just merely trimming, trimming the branches back over the fence, then that's one thing. But if
Correct.
it's anything else, it will be coming to you.
Okay.
Okay, but this one, we have the entire application, and just very briefly, it's 1696, that's 1696 King Street. The applicant's name is Calmar, C-A-L-M-A-R Enterprises, Inc. The actual application is for the elderly development, 92 units with common areas. Housing for the elderly development. It's different sizes. It looks to me, just looking at it briefly, it looks to me to be like an apartment complex, rather than individual units that stand alone. It looks like they said common areas, looks like a few buildings.
Okay.
Okay?
That would be 1550, or 557.
Yes, IW 557. Do you need to see this?
Yeah, I need
before
to
you-
see the application
Okay.
before we accept it.
While he's looking at that, can I have do we have to approve the meeting minutes for March 18th? I believe we do.
Yes.
We do.
Yeah.
Let's approve the meeting minutes for
March 18th.
March 18th, 2014. I need a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve the meeting minutes of March 18th, 2014.
I'll second the motion.
All right.
You can,
I wasn't here for that meeting, but I can approve them since I've read them.
You read them? Yes, you can. Yep. Okay, to take a vote now. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
400. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
Thanks, Donna.
Thank you. Ginny, and when we go to, we approve this, when we accept it tonight, a draft copy of the special conditions with that will be put, with a public hearing and all that information will be with that packet.
Yes, what I did, since I've not had a public hearing yet, excuse me, I took the liberty of pulling 3 or 4 past public hearings for large, both a subdivision, even though it isn't a subdivision, and 2 apartment complexes, and for the elderly, and I've gotten some good. The only thing I wanted to mention while I think of it is I noticed in the past when there's been apartment complexes or large development, in the past there's been a conservation easement on the plants. So you as a group should think about that if you want it as a condition of approval. You won't know until you see the plans. It
Correct.
might not apply, it might not be anything that you are interested in.
Right. And we'll have all that in the package. I just want you guys to look at the application. Make sure that, you're aware of what's going on. Well, we have Ginny here if there was any questions on the application.
This is a very brief, I just pulled it from the GIS, that's the area. There's a house here, and over here is Burlington Coat Factory. So see, it goes down and back. Oh, wait a minute, do I have it backwards?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
backwards.
91.
Okay.
This is Route 5 up
All
here.
right, this
The
is
Burlington Coat Factory.
Burlington.
It's over
Right.
this side.
This is right next to the Burlington Coat Factory. This house is separate. And then it goes Burlington Coat Factory. So if any of you have driven by, you've seen the brick times.
Right, that's the only area there. Okay.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we have a public hearing on inland wetlands, application 557, 1696 King Street, Calmer Enterprise Incorporated, Housing for Elderly Development. And we have that on June 2nd? June 3rd? What did you say? The 3rd, June 3rd.
So I guess that scratches our workshop, huh? That's okay. All right,
Second?
vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
4.
400.
Ginny, you just handed me this copy here this is from the town of Enfield.
Right, there, as you know, the
Is your mic on?
Thank you. As you know, the town of Enfield is doing road programs. It's periodic, every year or 2 years. And they have one area that has 2 small installed culverts that are failing. And what they want to do is they want to take those culverts and put new ones in. They're a little bit bigger with hoods so that the sediment settles better. And the engineering is very good about bringing all that stuff to me for you. But because it's already a disturbed area, I was wondering if there was a need, to come before you with an actual application. I've highlighted the small area on the other sheets.
So these, the removal of these 2 catch basins here, the ones that are highlighted
Yes,
on Ridge Road? Mm-hmm. Okay. And they are going to be placing
same spot, just a little
same
bigger
spot.
with a hood so that the sediment settles and doesn't go into the wetlands areas.
And that's the only work they're doing, isn't that?
Correct.
Is that a brook that runs through there underneath, or?
I'm pretty sure that that is a brook or a small waterway, but this will make it better.
So we're not
Then-
putting sediment into that brook, is that what it?
Correct. We've
That
had that
discharge goes
issue
to?
in the past with sediment. That's why they're putting the hood on each of them. It'll trap the sediment and make it settle so it doesn't go forward.
So that, they're not actually going into the brook itself, they're just gonna open up the sewer, pop new ones in and.
Yep. Just the area that I highlighted.
The hoods are just going in the catch basin itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a description of the hood here. Yeah, I don't see any issue, if any of the other members have any issue with it. I know Jenny brought it to my attention this week, and I just requested that we look at it as a group real quick to see if there was any issues, and I don't see any issues. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay,
What I'll do is when they get started in that area, I'll try to do a drive-by or at least let you guys know what they're doing so that if you wanted to look, you could. Okay?
Yep.
So I'll tell engineering they're all set
Yep,
to
they're
let
all
us
set.
know. Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Ginny?
No, I'm seeming to get busier. A lot more people are coming in with sheds and pools. But in the wetlands regulations, I've been reading them, and in the wetlands regulations, there's a couple places where houses that were built before wetlands, it's not that they get a free pass, but it's if they have a shed or a gazebo or anything that doesn't have a big impact, if it's 50 feet away or greater, they don't have to come to you. And also, if it's small, and even if it's like, excuse me, the gentleman that was here before, his whole property is wetlands. And in that case, if he were not digging a foundation for a small shed to keep like his lawnmower and his rakes in, that would be something that I would approve. So I am looking at a lot of wetlands issues, but not anything that I feel needs to come to you yet.
All right, so we have nothing for executive session tonight.
I have a question. On the staff report you handed out, why are some of the lines don't have addresses?
That was where they were.
These-
Wait a minute. Let me just look at my
Yeah.
copy.
it's like, a lot of them don't have addresses.
Other business.
Good question. Actually, I had thought about that, but it just totally slipped my mind.
Okay. I'm sorry, Donna. What was your question again?
Way on the sheet, there's somewhat no addresses. So they just have like the type, the description, but no address.
Oh, yeah. I apologize. I thought I was noticing the ones that I looked at. Some of these I didn't take off. Some of these shouldn't even be on there.
Oh, okay.
And those are the ones that don't have addresses. I went through all the ones that had wetlands, and I put the address and whether there were any issues, or the fact that one of them had already gone through wetlands and had gone through a site plan review, and another one, the wetlands was in the front and they were working in the back. So if you see something that doesn't have a address, with the exception of the new house, I'll find out where that is. It should not have been on there, and I'll make sure I don't put them on next time. This was just kind of
Quick.
hurried, and I'm trying to work out a schedule so that I make sure all of your packet information is correct and ready to go out on Thursday. So I'm working on it.
I just one side note before we finish. I noticed they started working on the mobile station on Middle Road.
Yes.
You just keep an eye on that.
Yep, I told them they took the tanks out, and I told building, and I asked the fire marshal to go down there and watch them take the tanks out and see if there was any sediment or anything that was really badly polluted, and to let me know if there was. And I haven't heard from him, but I'll double check. And I told them, Antea and the building department and anyone else that I could think of, that I will be driving by there several times a week, and if I see anything, I will be stopping to visit.
All right.
Two more things. Did we have an update on the railroad ties?
Oh, thank you. I've been trying to find the contact for the railroad, because even though it's sitting right next to the tracks, because I understand his concern, but it's the railroad's right of way, and I will start calling state departments because I couldn't find it anyplace else.
I know I believe Jose was part of that. I believe the town manager also had something to do with that at one time.
Okay.
I think it went to town council also
Okay.
a few years back, so they may have a contact.
Okay.
I believe it was somebody from DOT. They were in I want to say he was in front of us on one of our meetings with somebody from the railroad, I think. I could be mistaken, though. But I know that he was in front of us for the same issue, because I believe I brought it up with that blight, or being the creosote and stuff that could possibly be in there that Mr. Crisell brought up to our attention. So,
Okay, thank you for the suggestions. One more thing that I almost forgot to tell you is this is very preliminary, but I had a call from a gentleman from DEEP, the Inland Fisheries Division. And the state is doing a study on a certain type of fish. I'm not a fisherman, so I apologize. That they want to see the fish have direct access from the different, wherever Terry Brook starts down into the Scantic. And there's a few culverts and things that aren't pitched correctly. And the challenge is the state doesn't have any money. The town doesn't have any money. So they will design it, but they won't install it. So I was thinking, I just went online. Yes. I went online and just preliminary looked for grants for fish. Sometimes they refer to them as fish ladders, but, you know, allowing the free flow of fish. So I found a couple. I thought I'd just check them out. Okay? I'll let you know if I have any success.
Terry Brook is the one that runs from Summers Road to the Scannick, correct?
Correct. It picks up all the Green Manor subdivision, all their runoff from the road dumps into that, which really can't be too good for the fish, but it does.
And somebody from the DEP showed up at their door?
No, the gentleman called me.
Oh, he called you.
And he was looking for the wetlands agent. He was very pleased when he found me. He just wanted to make the town aware of the fact that they are looking into this and that they would be open to helping design any changes that needed to be made and help with any suggestions. They just don't have money.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you. All right, our next regular meeting is Tuesday, June 3rd, 2014, at 7 PM in the council chambers. And I need a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
400, thank you.